Okay, so when it comes to moving towards slavery, it's quite simple because everything essentially becomes a de-incentivization, right? You're de-incentivized to buy a home. It's too expensive. The crime's going up. Oh, it's going to be hard to sell it. I can't even afford it. Even if I do afford it, my net return is going to, it doesn't make any sense, okay? The job market. Why would I want to work a job? So anyways, when you do the whole owning housing, then you just default to renting, which has been going on for a while, that most developments are renting. Greater control. So not only do you become a renter, you're controlled, but you live in a fucking server. Greater control at that. Whether we talk about surveillance, inability to move, inability, it's all about convenience, right? That's liquid modernity at that. To grow a family, to have a family, you become more alienated, more divided because you're now sharing a quote unquote unit or home with, it's hardly home at that, to anyone else. Again, you have no sense of ownership. So then we bring up the topic of care and belonging, how that gets essentially eroded, whole other discussion. So there's a whole housing situation of which dwelling comprises of the majority of your existence. So that goes out the window. So not only are you trapped here and unable to even freely see and explore the world by design, you're actually trapped here and then forced to work. Anyways, next is work. Why would you want to work a job? Again, by design. Starting a business, all the other things as a different topic, different situation of which are also getting increasingly harder to do. But working a job is getting hard to do by design, even if you have school, even if you have an experience, even at that, it's like people are like, why the fuck would I want to work a job 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, working the said job, and then another 3+ hours commuting day to day because you don't want to live in the city. But if you do live in the city, sure, then you're going to pay all this fucking rent. So it's like you're paying to go to a job you otherwise wouldn't need. You're paying for rent to work that job that of which rent you wouldn't need had you not had that job in the first place, or any other expensive, whether it's a car, your lease payments, or whatever else. Again, your job essentially creates a new structure of your life in society because it not only does it now demand 5 of your 7 days, quite literally 7 of 7, because 2 of those days are the weekend, which are just by design there for you to reset, recharge, and make you an efficient cog in the system to repeat and put yourself back in the so-called matrix, of which it's just a placeholder. Most of these jobs are fucking meaningless meaningless at that, and then they hardly pay. Again, it's just quite literally a fucking slave matrix. And they become demoralized. You have no energy, no soul, no say, whatever. So in terms of the whole job thing, people are like, why the fuck would I work a job now for this said scenario? It's not going to fucking pay. It's not going to get me anywhere. I'm not going to be able to buy a house or even be able to, at this point, like rent with this again. So people are just fucking exiting the system overall, which creates a case for UBI. Next, dating. Again, I've said in previous videos or previous talks or writings of mine in which the job market, dating market, one and the same. Not even from the kind of the recruiter perspective, this wealth of options that women have today by design due to feminism, all this other fucking, we live in a, what is it called? A gynocracy? Is that what it is? But anyways, that fucking aside, and the men are fucking powerless today. Men have no advantage, and it's like, oh, that's so misogynistic. It's like, that's actually not misogynistic, and it's actually, misogyny is what creates a strong functioning system. Anyways, and what continues humanity and children and families and all the rest, and the nuclear family and traditional gender roles to anyways this is another piece, but people are not, women are like, fuck this. It's like, guys have no fucking money. What's the point of doing this, X, Y, and Z? I can get all the attention I need, status I want, all this other shit, albeit simulated, artificial, narcissistic. Again, by design, that's kind of female nature at that. But anyways, all that other shit, they're like, why the fuck would I want that? I only want a top fucking 1% guy, and even then, I don't even want to have children. That those top 1% guys are just gonna fucking fuck you, and they're like, why the fuck would I want to settle with this fucking? So it's all fucking skewed. And then the fucking bottom 90% and 95% of guys who aren't even able to find someone to pair bond with, again, all by design, etc., etc., etc. They're fucking exiting the system too. So they're like, fuck, I can't even get a job. I can't even do this. I'm not going to buy a home. I'm not going to be able to find someone to be with. The whole prosperity, having children's out the fucking window. People are becoming nihilistic. They're committing existential suicide in a sense. It's quite nihilistic by design. So they're like, fuck this shit. I'll just fucking wank off the porn or get off the porn or whatever, and or hopefully have an AI girlfriend which you'll subscribe to. Bro, that's fucking perpetual slavery. So again, great challenge for those who actually want to fucking make it out. There's all these fucking challenges again that are in place, which give you a greater reason to transcend and to get past these fucking obstacles if you can, God willing. If not, you couldn't make it out. But again, the point here is just everything happens by design, and it's just there as a de-incentivization, whether we talk about dating for both sexes or more so for men here, or buying a house or owning a home and all this other shit. People are like, fuck this again. But the reason why it's all happening is because it all resorts and retreats back to slavery.